Hi, so we're going to be going over just the basics of duck calling today. We're going to learn how to blow a mallard hen call and a whistle. So our whistle is going to mimic the drakes or the males of wigeon, mallard, pintail, teal. And this one is a mallard hen call. Now, gadwall, wigeon, they'll also quack. It's just a different pitch of a sound on the quacking, but you can make it with this call as well. Okay, so first we have two different types of calls. We have what we call a double reed call, and it's simply just two pieces of mylar that make up the reed, or a single reed call, which is just one reed. Okay, so duck calls. This one is a wood and a polycarbonate. It's going to range from 15 to 25 bucks. You might have a custom handmade wood call, might range from $50 to $150. And what I blow with is a combination. You have wood and acrylic, or all acrylic. Totally depends on what your budget is. I would recommend any beginner just buying a $15 to $25 call, learning that, and then progressively getting a call that you like and you're comfortable with. Okay, so we have our duck call. In my instance, I'm going to blow a single reed call. So the difference between single reed and double reed is really just the sound. So a double reed is going to be kind of in the middle range, where a single reed can kind of do it all. It can go really, really soft or really, really loud. I would recommend, again, a double reed call for beginners. Okay. So we have our duck call. I'm gonna pull mine apart so we can see the components. Okay, and the one that you could see through, that's the barrel. And you're gonna put those on your lips. This one is the insert, okay? So you have a wedge block, you got your reed, you got your tone channel, and you're just gonna insert that back into the barrel. So you have your duck call. Okay, so now what hand do we hold the call with? In my case, I always hold it with my right hand, and that's because I hold the forearm of my shotgun with my left hand in the duck blind. So when I'm calling, I could drop my call, grab my gun, and shoot. Okay? So just personal preference. So what we're going to do first is you're going to put your palm out, all right? And right here in the valley, you're going to put your insert, and you're going to make an OK sign that you should got it. Now you're going to take these three fingers, you're going to put them together, and you're going to come down towards your palm. You're not going to touch your palm, but basically you're going to have kind of the diameter of a quarter, let's say, up towards the bottom of your insert there. Come down, okay? And now you're going to put the call to your lips. And it's as simple as, drinking a bottle of water. So, bottom lip, top lip, drink that water. It is really important that your lips are not blocking the hole to the call, because you're going to be forcing air in there, so you don't want your lip to be in the middle of it. So you want bottom lip, top lip, okay? So we have our OK sign down on our insert. Come down with your fingers, bottom lip, top lip, okay? Now, where do we get that air presentation that we're going to force into the duck call, okay? And that air is going to come up from your diaphragm. So what I want you to do is just grab your hand, I want you to blow on it. And now I want you to act like your hand's a mirror and try to fog that mirror up. You'll tell the difference. The first presentation of air is just kind of cold. The second presentation of air, when it's that hot air coming up from your diaphragm, that's hot air, okay? Just like if you're playing football and you say, hut, hut, hut. That same air coming up through our diaphragm is the same air that we're gonna force through our duck call, okay? So you'll see a lot of videos online, YouTube, cassettes, DVDs, or whatnot, that teach you to put a word into the call. It might be hut, quit, twit, whatever it may be. I think that confuses people when they're trying to say the word into the call, and it messes up their rhythm. So what I like to teach is just getting the tip of your tongue, okay, and you're gonna bury it where your gums and your teeth meet on your bottom set, okay? So you're gonna bury it just like that. And what happens is your tongue rolls up, okay? So on the back of our tongue, that hot air is going to come up and we're going to cut it off from the roof of our mouth, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna turn my duck call around and I'm gonna blow my hot air into it with the tip of my tongue buried where my gums and my teeth meet, okay? And I'm gonna make this sound. I'm gonna puck up my lips, okay? Because you don't want your cheeks like this. So out here, and you're gonna make this sound. Okay, again, tongue's buried, air coming up over the back of your tongue, and you're coming up towards the roof of your mouth and cutting it off. Okay, so I come back, got my hand position right, my OK sign. Okay, really important, when you start pushing air out of that duck call, your 3 fingers on the end need to come out, okay? So think of this as a tunnel. These 3 fingers are feathers, and every time air comes out of that tunnel, you're gonna push those feathers out. What I see a lot of beginners do, they'll blow the call and come back, and then you could hear it. It's gonna really cut that sound off. So I'm going to get my OK sign, come down, bottom lip, top lip, get that big breath of air. I'm gonna force it through my diaphragm. Okay, ready? And all I'm doing is fingers are going out. Okay, and what happens with a lot of beginners is those fingers will come the other way. They'll get sucked in, and this is what it would sound like. So make sure that you have a gap right here, and when you blow that air out, your fingers are going out with it. Okay, so what I just did was a single note. Quack, 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 quack. Everything is built on that quack. And now we're going to build up to what we call a 5-note cadence, okay? So right now you would take in a deep breath of air and you're going to go 3 notes right on top of each other. And to get the rhythm, you're going to think 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. So on the back of my call, it's going to sound like this. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. So here's my 3-note cadence. Okay, from there I'm going to build up to what we call our 5-note cadence. So now it's 3 blind mice, 1, 2, 3 blind mice, 1, 2. In the back of my call. Okay, 3 blind mice, 1, 2, 5 notes. Again, taking a big breath of air, hot air coming up through our diaphragm. Our tongue is still anchored the whole entire time. Okay, so that is our 5-note cadence of a hen mallard. Okay, now what we're going to do is what we call a feed chatter. So this is the only time that I'll teach people that you could actually say something. So you could either say tit, 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 and your tongue is actually kind of coming to the roof of your mouth on the back of your front teeth. Tit, 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 tit. So one, it's going to be our feeding call that's more of a cluck, 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 and then we're going to do what we call a rolling feed chatter. So this is what I mean by our clucks. Tit, 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 tit. I'm saying the same thing in the call. All I'm doing is moving my hand to make the sound a little bit different. The other one's going to be what we call a rolling feed chatter. So you can either say ticka 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 or dooga 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 dooga. Here's ticka ticka. Dooga dooga dooga. It's the same exact sound. It's just whatever your personal preference is. Okay, so what we've learned so far, we've learned 2 different types of calls, single read and double read. We've also learned how to push air into the call up through our diaphragm. We've learned our hand, okay sign on our insert, coming down, bottom lip, top lip. Our feathers are going out when the wind's going out, okay? And we've learned a quack, a 3-note cadence, a 5-note cadence, and a feed call, okay? So single quack, 3-note cadence, 5-note cadence, okay, and then our feed call. You got your clucks, you got your rolling feed, okay? So when you're out hunting, you can put all those together and really sound like a bunch of ducks. So you might be out in a hunting situation, sitting there in the wetland. Okay, so that would be something kind of more in a hunting situation. But those are the basics to blowing a duck call, okay? Do not ever blow a call in a car when you're driving. Terrible acoustics. What I recommend is turning the call around, blowing through the insert, and really practice on that kind of muscle memory. You're going to be a lot better off than trying to find the sound that you want in your car. So terrible acoustics, do not actually blow sound in your car, okay? I see a lot of people doing that, and then when they get outside in a hunting situation, they're not used to that sound, okay? So that's the basics on duck calling in itself. Now we're going to go into our whistling ducks, okay? So we have our Drake wigeon, Drake pintail, Drake mallard. These are some of the calls that we're going to learn about. And still, it's that hot air coming up from your diaphragm, okay? So what I have is a wing setter call. They were invented here in California. The company is still here. I think it's one of the better sounding whistles that you can buy, $25. And there's 2 different holes on my call, okay? So I'm going to do a Drake wigeon first. And on the whistling ducks, you are gonna say some words in the call. So a wigeon, you're gonna say, wee, 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 wee. And you're gonna really emphasize the W's, okay? So I'm going to take my index finger, and I'm gonna plug up my left hole. I'm gonna take my hand and kind of press it over my call. So it's going to really emphasize the different sounds of the wigeon, okay? So index finger over my hole, wee wee wee, wee wee wee. Okay, in a hunting situation, you wouldn't just keep doing the wee 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 over and over. You would kind of just do little wee wee wee, stop for a little bit, and then keep going. So in California, we're kind of at the end of the flyway, so most ducks have heard people blowing on a mallard hen call for a long time, okay? So your best bet to learn and master is a whistle, and it's going to really help you out in the field. So we just learned a wigeon. Now we're going to learn our pintail. So what I do is I cover the right hole on it, and you're going to flutter your tongue. If you can't flutter your tongue, just like if you're going to gargle, you're going to use the back of your throat, and you're just going to go little spurts. Okay, and it's going to sound like this. Again, if you can't flutter your tongue and you can't make that gargling sound, like if your mouth is full of water and you're gargling at the end of the night, they do make other calls where there's a little piece of a wood dowel or a straw that makes that fluttering sound for you. So again, you would just basically be peeping in it. It's going to do that for you. Okay, so that is our pintail call. And now what we're going to do is our Drake mallard call. And you're going to put your teeth together. Your tip of your tongue is going to be in the middle of where your teeth meet. And you're going to make the sound zzz. You're going to say zoot, zoot. And you should really feel your tongue vibrating on your teeth. And this is what a Drake mallard sounds like. So, zzz, 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 zzz. Okay. The other common one that you're going to hear is a Drake teal. Okay, and I think there's two different ways to do it. There's one, it's a rolling teal call. It sounds very similar to a pintail. You cover the left side of your call. Okay, so you do the same thing as the pintail, but you're just going to cover the left hole, or you can just go zoot, doot, doot, doot. Okay, and that's what a green-winged teal is going to sound like. So again, this is just very basic duck calling. It does take a long time to master. I would highly recommend you buying a whistle first, mastering that, and then kind of move on to the duck call.